Hi, it's Rustic Barn Cards with Terry. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today, I'm going to share the Celebration Labels dies and how you can make some really cute toppers for some gift bags. The holiday season is upon us. Before I turn the camera down, on November 24th, 24-hour, one-day-only sale called Merry and Bright. It's going to be from the annual catalog, and you'll save 10%. Most of the items are on sale. There are a few excluded items, which I will share with you if you go to my website, www.rusticbarncards.com, or on my Facebook page. Okay, let's turn the camera down and start stamping. And if you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. So today we are going to make some toppers. In the mini catalog on page 60, you will see these really cute bags, the cellophane bags, and I'm going to use a couple of those, and I'm going to show you how to make some toppers for those, and I also have some clear bags which are in the annual catalog. And I'm going to case this little tag here, so stick with me. I'm going to be using Snowman Season, but I'm going to use this design and case a tag. I'm going to be using the Celebration label dies. So I'm going to be using the largest one and then the medium size to make a couple of tags. And then I'll be using this middle, or the second to the largest tag, and next to the smallest tag to make some labels. And then if you do not have these dies, I also will show you how you can still make some toppers for bags without using the Celebration label dies. The first one I'm going to show you, I cut Cajun Craze out of the largest, and then I used the Gilded Autumn Specialty DSP, and I scored right down the middle. And then let me show you, I'm bringing in one of the little bags. I just kind of filled it with some candy. I'm going to close this and then lay this on the top. And then I'm going to bring in a paper punch. I really need something a little bit heavy duty than that, but I don't have one, so it will still work. So I'm going to punch on this side. And it's a little, I was trying to go through 4 layers, and so that's a little bit difficult. So I'm going to go through the first 2 layers, and then I can close that and line it up and go through the next one. And I'll do the same on this side. So I'm kind of going, and then I'll close this and line it up. And then, of course, we need to do the same with our little bag. So I will line this up and bring in the paper punch. And that lined up. And then what I'm going to do is bring in my ribbon. This is a basket weave metallic ribbon combo pack. And I'm going to use the metallic. I laid this here to hold that down while I went to get my ribbon. And so we'll line that up, put the ribbon through. And then I will turn, and I'll go ahead and punch on the other side another opening. And I punched a hole, and I'm bringing in the ribbon. And then I'll tie a bow. So let me go ahead and snip. And we will tie a bow in front, and they've definitely used too much ribbon, but that's okay. Seems like I don't cut enough off, or maybe I get too much. And then we can snip. And isn't this a cute little topper? That makes a nice present. You can also, we could also add a little tag on the topper, or we could tie a little tag on to the ribbon, put who it's from, who it's to. So let me show you some other toppers that I've made. Before I show you the next one, these food bags, you receive 25, and they're 4 by 7 inches, and they are food safe. So you could make mini banana bread, cookies, and you'd be able to put those in here because these bags are food safe. So I cut a piece of early espresso cardstock at 5.5, and I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the largest die. I'm going to lay it so the flat side is toward me, and bring in my plates. So I have the base plate 1, 2, because you place a die cutting edge down, and I'll need plate 3. I'll lay my cardstock, and I'll lay this up here, so I still have a little room if I want to use some scrap of early espresso. I can. To finish my sandwich, I'll put 3 on top, and then I'll run this through. And then this is what I have. And then I'm going to use Playful Pets, DSP. So today I'm going to use several different DSP, several different designs and ideas. So I'm hoping this will help you think about what you have at home and how you can decorate some gift bags during the holiday season that you can give people. In the annual catalog, there is a stamp set called Playful Pets. And then the DSP that goes with it is Pampered. And so here is a DSP. This is an annual catalog. And if you don't have this set, I'd highly recommend it. It's so much fun to play with if you're an animal lover, especially. So you have small dogs, and you have large dogs. You have cats. So 2 different, and you have 2 of each. And then you have some dog and cat bowls. And then if you turn it over on the other side, there's some really cute papers too. So for this topper, I am going to use this one here. So I'm going to cut that down about 4.5 because I'm going to use next to the largest. But what I wanted to point out to you is that you'll want to place your die thinking that it's going to be folded in the middle. So you want to think about that, so you'll have a couple of dogs when you fold it over, they will be facing the way that you want them to. So let me go ahead and die cut one. So I have this die cut, and let me bring the trimmer in. Looks like I still have a... So I'm going to take my early espresso and I'm going to line this up. And you can use the marks. Then I'm going to close. And I will score right in the center. And I will do the same with the Playful Pets DSP. Now the stamp set has several stamps and it also comes with dies. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to stamp. I could stamp an image and die cut it out, but instead, this is one of the dies, and it also, you can stamp and cut it and die cut and the dog out, but you can also lay it right over this little schnauzer, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go ahead and, which I've already done, and run this through. And you have the little schnauzer. Going to bring in that silicone craft sheet. And I'm going to add, seems like on my camera, I'm always having trouble with my glue. Okay. And then I'm going to line this up. I'm going to go ahead and fold it on the line. And you can bring your bone folder in and crease this. I'm going to turn it over because I know I have that at the right place. And here I told you to make sure that you would have enough room for your schnauzer. And as you can see, part of my schnauzer is above the fold line. But it'll be fine because I'm going to add this little cutout. So I'm going to turn him over and pop him up with some dimensionals. Take the backs off. And then I have a little topper. And again, you could stamp. You could add another piece and you could do some stamping. But this will fit over one of the little bags. Or you put it on a gift bag also would work. So let's look at another one. The next little topper, I use the gnome set. I love, as you know, the gnomes. And so I took white cardstock and I die cut. And then I went ahead and I tore so it matches here. But then I tore to make it look like snow. And I also embossed this with the winter snow embossing folder. And I stamped and cut both of these out and popped them up with dimensionals. And I used these Flowers for Every Season gems to put on here for lights. And I added the little snowflake embellishments, which are so cute. And stamped Merry Christmas. So here is another topper idea. I used Trimming the Town Designer Series paper. And again, I made sure that the houses would show, going the right way. I used Ode Olive, which matches, coordinates with the tree in this Designer Series paper. And how do I know what color coordinates? Because remember, on your Designer Series paper, this is on the back, do not throw this away because this is Trimming the Town and it has all the coordinating colors. Early Espresso, Misty Moonlight, Ode Olive, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, and Whisper White. So you always want to save that back piece so you know what DSP you have and also what coordinating colors. The next one I already cut out in Real Red and DSP with poinsettias. This is from 'Tis the Season DSP. And then I also used punch. That was the wrong punch. Let me find the right one. I use the Everyday label, and it is in the annual catalog. And so I punched that out, and then I used, on our new stamp set, the Curvy Christmas, I used this image right here and stamped the little pine, and then stamped Merry Christmas, which also is from the Curvy Christmas stamp set, which, as you know, you can only buy right now. The Curvy Christmas you may purchase now, but it will not be in the mini catalog. The Quite Curvy set and bundle will be in the mini catalog coming out in January, although you can pre-order this early also. But if you want the Curvy Christmas, then you need to pre-order that by January 4th. And then I also punched the same with Real Red, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to bring in the trimmer, and I'm going to lay the label that I punched, and then trim it right in the middle. And this way I have a little trim to my label. So this way I can have a little red up front, at the top, and at the bottom. Okay, let me turn that over and put it together. But before I do that, as you can see, it isn't going to look very good because on the sides. So what I'm going to do is just trim this. So I'm going to trim just this little piece off right here. And then this little piece right here is what I'm going to trim off. I'm going to turn it this way. And then I'm going to leave those two there. So I'm going to add adhesive on the top. I'm going to line this up. Might have been better to use a liquid glue. Gives you a little bit of more room. I'll turn that over. And we'll place it down. There we go. So I used the same punch, but I cut it in half, trim that a little bit. And now we will add our DSP. We'll line this up. It's kind of better to fold it and do it like this. Get it where you want. And then bring that down. Flip it over. And then we can pop this up with 3 dimensionals. And we can place it wherever you want. So here's another idea for a topper that you can put on gift bags or any cellophane bag. Okay, for my next one, I use the Balmy Blue Isn't that pretty? This is Balmy Blue glitter or glimmer paper, and I cut this 4 across by 6, and then I just took my snips and I rounded the edges with my snips. So this is what you can do if you do not have the celebration labels. And then I used Oat Olive, and I ran this through the embossing folder. So I used the Evergreen embossing folder, which is in the mini catalog, and I embossed this. I cut this 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and again I just used my trimmer and I just cut the corners off. And I'm going to bring in a dauber and some white craft, and I'm going to add a little snow on these trees. And you can just keep adding layers. I just put it on this tree, trying to show you the difference than from the others. You could use your Wink of Stella to add some glimmer. So again, we will you might want a little extra adhesive since we're working with the glimmer paper. I'm going to fold that over. Then I'm going to set it right inside so I can line this up and make sure there's equal amounts on both sides before I press it down. And then I'll flip it over to the other side. And do the same. You can add a greeting, a sentiment. You can maybe punch and add some ribbon and a tag. You could add some embellishments. So I have a couple more. So stick with me because I'm going to show you how to case that tag, how to copy that tag out of the catalog. For the next one, I used next to the largest and then next to the smallest. So this is a little bit smaller topper. And I took Flirty Flamingo. And I die cut. And then I used Balmy Blue. So I kind of wanted to use some different colors for Christmas. And I stamped snowflakes, which I could all the way around, but I just did it on the front that's going to show. And then I embossed with the winter snow the Balmy Blue. And then I used the punch I showed you earlier, which is this punch right here, and it's called Timeless Label, and it is in the annual catalog. And I really like punches because they're quick and easy. And then I am going to, I had a couple extra, I'm going to take my trimmer, I'm just going to cut it right down the middle. And when I do that, then I have these two pieces. And I can take, and I can match this up. Let me just put it together so you can see. I'm going to turn the label over. And line that up. And that gives a little bit of trim. And then we can pop this up on our topper. When you've used all of your dimensionals, there is still more that you can use around the edge. So don't throw those away. So I am going to snip and use those dimensionals. And place that right here on our topper. So if you stayed with me this long, you're ready to see on page 60 of the mini catalog, I'm going to make this tag. I'm going to kind of use it for an inspiration. So mine's going to look different than this, but you'll notice that I try to use some of the elements, but I'm using a different stamp set, which is exactly what I'm hoping that my video today will help give you some ideas to make some of your own inspirations, your own toppers, using what you have. So here is the tag that I cased, and I put some candy in a bag. This ribbon you can buy in the annual catalog. You can get white with the silver, or you can also purchase white with gold trim. And don't forget, on November 24th, Merry and Bright sale, and you can save 10%, except for some items that are excluded. All right, so what I did, I did take the label, and I die cut the Balmy Blue, and then I squared it off. So I just left the trim at the top. So I went ahead and cut straight on the two sides and the bottom. And then I cut a piece of Balmy Blue, and I popped it up with dimensionals. And the Balmy Blue is 2 by 4. And then I used vellum, and I used the largest So this is the largest die that is in the layering circle dies, and that's what I used to cut out the vellum that I then placed on the blue rectangle. And then once again, I used the Balmy Blue glimmer paper, and I used the everyday label. So I punched out the everyday label, and then I cut it in two, and I spaced it apart a little bit on this vellum circle, and then the snowman that I stamped and punched out from Snowman Season, that was able to hide where I had cut the label in two pieces, and then I had enough to stretch that across there. And then I cut the little hat out with the glimmer, and I just used Balmy Blue. And then I stamped the background of this tag with this stamp from the Snowman Season. And then there's a punch that goes with it, which is what I used to punch out the hat and the body and the hands. And then I made it, I stamped Let It Snow and put that on each side. And so that is my tag. You could put who it's to or who it's from. You could add some more embellishments. So I hope I've given you lots of ideas of how you can make some really cute tags for your presents, gift bags, any clear bag you can also use. Remember, these are in the mini catalog, and they are food safe. And one more thing, you can also look and see what you have, and you can die cut some embellishments. It doesn't really go with this one, but you could even tuck in and add some extra and add some extra. I might make it too busy, but it does match with color-wise. And then I have one more to show you, I promise. So I'm going to bring in, this is Real Red, and this is another DSP from 'Tis the Season, but I want to bring in some ribbon from the mini catalog that you may have missed. So this is on page 53 of the mini catalog, and isn't that pretty? So it's down here in the corner, metallic mesh ribbon. And I have already cut a piece and made a bow. And I'm going to bring in some glue dots. And I am just going to add that to this topper. I've had so much fun making all these different variety of toppers and tags that I can put on my packages. And let me know if any of these inspired you, and let me know which one that you like the best, if I can line these up for you. So quickly, we have using the autumn, and here are 5. And then we have the gnome. We have the playful pets. And then we have the tag, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, that I copied or cased from the catalog. So I hope I've given you some ideas and inspired you to try to make some tags or toppers for your gift bags this holiday season. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and thank you for watching, and have a wonderful week.